Welcome back to The Takeout. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps today warned that if the United States or Israel resume military attacks, it would push the war, quote, beyond the region. President Trump, for his part, today said the conflict is in its, quote, final stages. The president and founder of the Eurasia Group, Bremmer, joins me now. I promise we'll get to Iran in a second. But last week, President Trump was in China. This week, Russia's Vladimir Putin is in China. Help me do what you do best. Separate the signal from the noise, because there's lots of noisy visuals from Trump in Beijing last week and Putin there this week. What's key about what's going on this week?
Putin doesn't have many friends. He just had his victory day parade, and almost no one showed up. He had to shut down the internet, getting people off Telegram and onto a state-based network, and it's because the war's not going well, and the Ukrainians can hit him harder. So he's showing up in Beijing to say, hey, I'm still relevant. I'm going to be welcomed by the most powerful leader of the world, even if it's not the most powerful country, Xi Jinping in China, right after Trump goes. There wasn't much that was substantive that was agreed to between the two countries. The Russians desperately want to build energy infrastructure to take more of their energy to China, and that continues to be a very slow and difficult negotiation.
Ian, evaluate where you believe things are with Iran. The president, according to you, has issued 6 ultimatums to restart the war. None of them have come to pass. Do you believe that is because he is speaking and negotiating from a place of net weakness?
Well, you know what they say, Major, 7 times the charm. So let's see what happens when he does it again. But no, the reality is that Trump has shown that he doesn't want to escalate militarily. He's warned by allies in the region that it will cause much more damage. And his own military advisors are saying these aren't really good and effective options. So he's brought all this military to the region. He's paying for them, and the soldiers are out there, and there are thousands and thousands of special forces, but not a lot for them to do that would create a more constructive outcome than where the United States is right now. And so that continues to be fruitless negotiations, endless back and forth, but very little willingness of the Iranians to accept a deal that would make Trump look like he'd gotten more from the Islamic Republic than the old Iranian nuclear deal, the JCPOA, that Trump in his first administration unilaterally withdrew from.
And Ian, there are op-eds being written by those in the MAGA world urging the president to, quote, finish the job. I well remember when George Herbert Walker Bush succeeded perceptibly in the first Gulf War, but then there was a residual sense that he did not finish the job. Is that both a strategic and political peril that the president is looking at?
I think that those are op-eds from a relative minority of MAGA supporters. I think most MAGA supporters want Trump to end wars, to be a peacemaker. That's why before Iran started, he was going around the world telling everybody how many wars he had brought to a close. This one he thought was going to be over very quickly. It hasn't been. He has no one to blame. And, you know, if you can't get the regime out, if you can't rescue the Iranian people, then every further day that you are continuing with this blockade is another day that you're costing his voters at the pump, his voters at the supermarket. And they're going to show up or not in the midterms as a consequence of that. So, I mean, look, not many people read those op-eds compared to 10, 20 years ago. Not many people write those op-eds compared to 10, 20 years ago.
Ian Bremmer, always great stuff. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Major.